welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Bree and I have a service dog named Dallas. On my channel here, I like to talk a lot about service dogs and invisible disabilities. Today I am doing more of an educational video, but I also like to do videos where I take my service dog out on adventures with me. So if you're interested in seeing future videos like that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about service dogs for POTS. First, I want to explain what a service dog is. So a service dog is a dog who is trained to perform specific tasks to help somebody with their disability. POTS stands for Postural Orthostatic Tachycardia Syndrome. POTS is on a spectrum. It affects people differently. Some people who have POTS are barely affected, and others who have POTS can become disabled from it, which is where a service dog would come in handy. Some symptoms that can affect people who have POTS are things like tachycardia, which is a fast heart rate, dizziness, lightheadedness, fainting, confusion, brain fog, shortness of breath, and blurry vision and blackouts, which is when your vision kind of goes black on you when you stand up. People who suffer from POTS oftentimes have good days and bad days. Sometimes even for months you'll feel great and you won't have very many symptoms with your POTS, while other times your symptoms flare up, meaning they get really bad, and flare-ups can last for months, years, maybe just a few days. It kind of just depends on the person. People who struggle with POTS don't have these symptoms every day. Sometimes we feel great, and other times we deal with what's called a flare-up. And a flare-up is when you have a major increase in your symptoms, which can become disabling at times. During these flare-ups is when a service dog who is trained to perform tasks can assist you. And I'll tell you a little bit about what service dog tasks are. So there are many different kinds of service dogs. I feel like the most common service dog that comes to mind for people is a guide dog, but guide dogs are not the only type of service dog. And different service dogs are all trained in different tasks. So for example, a guide dog would be trained to guide their handlers safely to where they're going. There are other service dogs like PTSD service dogs who are trained to wake their handler up during a nightmare or interrupt a flashback, things like that. There are mobility service dogs who are oftentimes trained to pick objects up off the ground for their handler, press handicap buttons, turn on and off lights, and brace their handler as they stand up or sit down. And there are also medical alert and response service dogs. These service dogs you'll often see for people who have seizures or diabetes or other health issues, where the dog can alert them prior to a medical episode. Service dogs for POTS are oftentimes trained in medical alert and response tasks and mobility assistance tasks. So these tasks include things like object retrieval, picking things up off the ground, helping out with the laundry, doing forward momentum pull, alerting their handler when they're out of breath, leg elevation, where the dog goes underneath the handler's legs to elevate their legs to help with the blood flow. And syncope response. If you don't know what syncope is just the medical term for fainting or passing out. So what the dog does to help when somebody faints or passes out. And then another very helpful task is counterbalance. And I'm going to go over all of these tasks in this video. I'm going to demonstrate my dog doing them for me so that you can kind of see how they work out and how they can be helpful. So oftentimes when you see a service dog out in public, you might see them wearing certain types of gear. Now, service dogs don't have to wear any type of gear specifically, but many handlers do put a vest or a harness on their dog so that others know that it's a service dog. Another reason why people put gear on their dog is because the gear is used to help with the disability. So a lot of times when you see a mobility service dog, you're going to see them wearing a harness like this. There are many different kinds of mobility harnesses. but oftentimes they're going to have some kind of handle on the top, either a rigid support handle for bracing. This is a counterbalance handle. It's flimsy, but it's great for counterbalance, and I will show you how that works later on. This here is a pull handle, which can be used for guiding, and I oftentimes use this for forward momentum pull when going up a hill or going up the stairs, or I'm just super tired from walking. It gives you a little extra push. On this vest here, I also have a pull handle, which can be used for all of the same things. It's just a very different look because it's on a vest instead of a mobility harness. Also, if you want to see all of my service dog's vests and gear, you can click up here to see my gear haul video. I've got everything on there if you're interested in that. So now is probably the time that everyone's been waiting for. I'm gonna go over those tasks. I'm gonna show my dog doing them so that you can see how they work, and I'm gonna explain to you how they are helpful for someone with POTS. I know you can't see me because I want you to be able to see the floor right now, but when it comes to laundry and you have things like socks and you need to pick them up, the motion of repetitively bending down and standing up is very difficult. So Dallas here is going to get me my socks. Get it? Oh, well, first she's going to get me her toy. Good girl. Get it. Good girl. Get it. Good. Thank you. Get it. Yes. Get it. Good job. Last one. Yes. Good job. Good girl. So that whole time, I didn't have to bend down to get my socks. She was able to do all of the hard work for me, which is extremely helpful. And I'm going to show you here real quick with the pull socks what my heart rate looks like when I'm resting versus after I've just picked up a few socks. So here I've got my pull socks. Now my heart rate today is already a little high because it's hot outside. I will show you how much higher it gets after I pick up socks. So I'm going to do the very simple task of picking up my socks. Boy. And laundry. So it's 1:48 and I'm pretty out of breath. And as I'm standing here, it's getting higher, because when you stand in one place, your blood doesn't circulate as well. So as you can see, having my dog pick up my socks for me, even though it did take a little bit longer, it was so much more helpful. If I try to do it myself, I don't feel well, I have to take breaks, and so yeah. Now I'm going to show y'all how she helps me with the laundry. So you already saw how she can pick things up off the floor like socks and stuff. Oh, she just got me a sock. Thank you. That was so kind. I'm standing here and she just shoves this sock into my hand. But I'm going to show you how she can get things out of the laundry machine for me. Another thing that my dog does to help me is get laundry out of the washing machine. Dallas, get it? The repetitive motion of bending down and then standing up to get the laundry out is very difficult, so having her do it for me is very helpful. Good girl. Come. Get it? Yes, good job. Thank you. Can you get more? Yes, good job. Thank you. Get that one. Thank you. Good job. More? Oh, there is no more. But yes, that is a very useful and helpful task for somebody who has POTS if they're not feeling well and they have all of this laundry that they have to get done. It is so helpful to have a dog there to assist you. Okay, so another very helpful task is heavy breathing alert. And this is helpful because when you're on a walk or you're out and about and you just start to breathe really heavy, sometimes you don't realize it because it happens all the time. So having my dog jump up to alert me lets me know, okay, I'm out of breath, my heart rate's getting pretty high, I should probably sit down for a little bit and let my heart rate calm down. So I'll show you how this works. Yes, good girl. See, I started to breathe heavy and she jumped to alert me. Yes, good job. Okay, and she gets very excited. So once that happens, what do you do next? Next, you can do what's called deep pressure therapy, or DPT, and I'll show you how that works here. Okay, so she just jumped to alert me, and I will have her lay on top of me. Now, this oftentimes helps compress the blood vessels in the legs, which helps the blood return back up to the upper part of the body, which is something that is very helpful for people with POTS, because someone who has POTS, their blood vessels don't contract like they should. So their blood pulls down in their legs, which increases heart rate, makes them lightheaded, dizzy, all of those things. That is why deep pressure therapy is a great task for somebody with POTS. It helps slow the heart rate and it helps somebody recover faster. Another thing that is helpful with POTS is something called leg elevation. So I will show you that. Alice, up. Good. Come under. 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 They are trained to go under your legs like this. You can't really tell very well, but she is under my legs, and this helps to elevate the legs to also let the blood go back up to the head. You can do this while you're sitting, or you can do this while you're laying down if you get too lightheaded and too dizzy. So one of the other things that I want to show y'all is syncope response. Now remember, previously in this video I told you that syncope is the medical term for fainting or passing out. And when you lose consciousness, you need to know that your dog is going to do what they're supposed to do. So you have to train them to do that. Some different things that people can train their dogs to do when they pass out is they can bark to get other people's attention for help, or they can do one of the two things that I just showed you, deep PT or leg elevation. So I will show you what Dallas does for me if I were to pass out or get too lightheaded and dizzy. I had to lay down. She will lay across my chest to help slow my breathing. Oftentimes when I pass out, I start to hyperventilate, and that just makes everything worse. That is deep pressure therapy when somebody has fainted. It's called medical response. Okay, so now that you have seen all of those tasks, I am going to take you with me to the mall, and I'm going to show you the other few tasks that she knows. So in this short clip here, you can see Dallas is doing what we call counterbalance. I am holding on to the handle on the top of her harness, and as we're walking, she is leaning the opposite direction and I am pulling the other way. So if I were dizzy, this is a great task to help me so that I can keep on going and not have to worry about falling over or having to sit down. This here is another task that is very helpful, and I call it under, where she goes between my legs and I am able to squeeze her body with my legs and lean while she supports me. So, now that you have seen all of those tasks, I hope they were helpful if you're thinking about training your dog to do any of those tasks. But I also kind of just wanted to explain one more thing. Oftentimes, people with POTS have trouble doing things on their own sometimes, and this means that they have to advocate for themselves a lot. Especially because they don't look like they need help. I mean, just looking at me, you cannot tell that I have chronic illnesses and autoimmune diseases, you can't tell. But internally, they really affect me a lot. And because of this, I have to advocate for myself and ask for help sometimes and tell people that I'm unable to do something because of my POTS. And this can be very frustrating, so having a service dog there to assist me just gives me that little bit of extra independence on days that I'm struggling. I don't have to ask people for help. I don't have to just stay home and do nothing because I have my girl right here who can help me. And that goes for a lot of people who have POTS as well. So I hope that this video was helpful and entertaining for you. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time.